Let's go ahead and get started. Welcome, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us today. Happy Thursday. Really excited to be joined again with Doug on our product management team. I'm Karan Talati, CEO and co-founder of First Resonance. Really excited to have everybody tune in today to hear about the latest of some of the functionality improvements we've delivered, performance, which is a key focus area that we continue to drive huge wins to. And then, of course, what everybody is here for, looking ahead to some of the functionality that we're going to be introducing in the next few weeks and months. Some exciting changes to the last webinar that we ran just about a month ago.
Yep.
Doug will be running some great demos of new workflows that we've introduced, including some improvements to kitting as well as procedures, I believe.
Yep.
And then we'll recap some of the things that are exciting and coming up more socially and as part of the community at First Resonance in 2026. So thank you for joining us for our last webinar for the roadmap this year. Really exciting way to close out the year.
And thank you to those that joined us just last night over at Topgolf at a fun event we hosted over there in El Segundo. So appreciate some of you being on the call as well. Cool. I'll kick this off with just some high level highlights from our recent change logs for everyone to familiarize with. Reminder, look at the change logs. They are providing you a higher frequency of update into what we are changing in Ion and focus on that new experience in the new Ion experience. So what have we really done here? This focus that I'm highlighting here is around interface visibility. So understanding whether standard steps are going to update or not based off the status of that step. Are you viewing the latest information? Same thing on the A-bomb, right? Direct traceability into the step that installations have occurred on. And we're giving a little bit of a preview here, but we're really kicking off efforts on our importers. The first place that we touched importers was on the M-bomb. We also have progress being made on inventory importers, and we're queuing up some additional work there. So exciting work happening for importers, making sure you have your data. And don't forget about exports as well on the flip side of that to make sure your data can flow into systems downstream as well. So some highlights from our change logs, and stay tuned for more of those change logs and these webinars.
Great. I believe changelog 55 should be coming out
Changelog
before.
55 should be dropping tomorrow.
Wonderful. So as I mentioned earlier, performance is a major focus of ours as we have really increased the usage of Ion across our now multiple dozens of customers, probably nearing 100 customers globally, but of course, mostly here stateside. We took a tactical effort at really improving key operations a few months ago. We started that effort in the summer. As you can see on the right here, this is but just one example of how all of our charts across performance have started to look. As we scale up the systems, it's not just about the functionality. It's about, how can we not just enable one person doing something complex, but actually hundreds, if not thousands of people at a given tenant being able to perform those operations reliably, performantly, etc. So key areas where we've made improvements is inputs on tool data collection, installing on parts, creating approvals. All those have been brought down substantially, and we're continuing to go. Just calculating a high level, just recently, we can say that we're saving, 3 whole factory days across our customer base. And I think we have the best yet to come, constantly making improvements here, and we got the team to do it.
Great. Now we're going to jump into our now, next, later roadmap. And you'll see some of the shifts that have occurred from the last time we presented this. So moving sort of from right to left is how we've been pulling over items here. And Karan, take it away.
Absolutely. So some key highlights here is we are now very squarely in execution and final mile delivery on having the logs for Ion Actions built into the application. It's a tremendous interface. We've gotten this out into beta with a few of our select customers who have been early design partners on that functionality, really allowing people to not only manage their Ion Actions or what was formerly known as rules, but also see how each execution has run and overall success rate, error rate, and quickly debug actual instances of those actions running. So Ion Actions continues to be a very powerful engine within the platform, and giving more visibility to customers is hugely important. Up next, we have our parts library hub, what used to just be parts management in the legacy application coming online in the new Ion experience. And a key call out that I'll make is something we'll talk about in more depth in the next slides is Ion Advanced Security. But key note here is we're putting a big focus on CMMC readiness for all of our customers, and I'll share more information on that when we get there. Um, Another change since our last webinar is that we're introducing the functionality of an embedded workflow builder. So for any of our customers that are programming automations into Ion, sometimes you know that like for changing configurations, you have to reach back out to your manufacturing success team. We're changing that and putting that control into your hands, embedding this functionality and the ability for you to administer your automations right from within the platform. Also out in early alpha testing with a few select customers. And finally, a change I'll call out, and this is the later, but we're really excited about building this in early Q1, is our discrete batching functionality. So for everyone that uses run execution in Ion, that's really for one run. If you use batching, you're basically doing one input, but affecting multiple runs. Discrete batching gives you the best of both, being able to enter discrete information in data collection and collect that across multiple runs in a really, really seamless UX. So that's a really exciting development that we're looking to roll out nearly alongside the new Ion experience run execution in early Q1. Doug, are there any particular features functionality that are upcoming or that I missed here that you're excited about you want to call out?
We're going to hop in depth in Ion Actions execution logs. We'll actually demo that today. Super exciting, and it is really enabling power users as well as the technicians on your factory floors to see why or why not they are able to perform certain functions, like why certain guardrails are in place, and really raises that visibility throughout the organization. So I just want to double click into that one because that one is super powerful. And then, really what's queued up next is feeding into the run execution. We mentioned discrete batching coming out alongside run execution. The biggest things that are going to feed into that is our ABOM insights as well, and really wrapping in a lot of the information that people typically digest from their maybe like their analytics pipeline or something like that. Bringing that into the application where you're viewing an ABOM day in and day out without having to click away to a different interface, bringing that insight, that ABOM completion, any blocking issues, things like that. We're really looking to sort of accelerate how you can adapt and continuously stay on top of the traceability of your ABOM in that regard as well. So that's one that is soon to be pulled over into the now column. It's basically queued up next. And another fantastic one to highlight that we know is going to make a lot of people happy.
I'm really excited about that one. When we started building the Ion Factory OS, the ABOM was a core data model that is meant to really serve as the nexus of where all the process information, the run information, who touched it last, when it was last installed, etc. So much rich data that we get to now reassemble in the new Ion experience. So really excited about that. Wonderful, thank you. So as I mentioned earlier, one of the key insertions on the now column for our focus goes into Ion Advanced Security. We started working on a core security activity early in 2025, knowing that the rule change for CMMC requirements are going to be going into place in 2026, especially for our customers in the aerospace and defense industries. This has now really come to a head. Many of you all have reached out inquiring about our readiness status. And I'm proud to say that, since we started First Resonance, one of our key values here is that we are secure. As many of you know, we run certain customers' work loads on AWS GovCloud, giving you that ITAR compliance that you need. But that's really just a start. We have set out from the get-go to align to NIST 800-171 standards, certain NIST 800-53 standards, all point to the same things here of being FedRAMP equivalence ready to support your audit compliance. requirements in CMMC. We are going to actually be releasing more information on how aerospace and defense manufacturers should be thinking about CMMC themselves and how they should be thinking about their cloud service providers and their vendors and what questions they need to be asking to make sure that they are audit ready. And really proud here again at First Resonance to say that we are going to make sure that you're ready for your audits come next year. In addition to being audit ready for CMMC, we're taking the opportunity to bundle in a few more advanced security products that we have been requested, as well as we just believe belong in an advanced factory OS such as Ion. We're going to be getting out more details on what those functionalities look like, but I think just as a quick preview, they're going to make CISOs very happy. Being able to, for example, stream out logs from your Ion Factory OS for who's accessing data into your own SIMs. So if you're interested in this as a core user or know people at your company that are focused on ensuring that you have a secure environment in which you're manufacturing in, please do reach out. We'd love to tell you more. We're also going to, like I said, get out more information early Q1 on that advanced functionality. And of course, we have our Trust Center at security.firstresonance.io for any questions that you have about our ongoing compliance standards and what we are mapping our security protocols to. Check out security.firstresonance.io and you'll get a lot more answers there.
Cool. We're now going to hop into some of the cool new stuff that has been released and is available for you all to use and to really accelerate your production workflows. So high level here, but better than telling. Let's actually show and jump into some demos. So this is the one again that I wanted to double click into. These are Ion Actions execution logs. Here you can see, where you're managing your Ion actions, but now you actually get visibility into every execution instance of that action. Each time that validation run, you have a record of that run, and you can understand why it was successful, why a validation was raised. And then you can dive into that and understand the Ion action that triggered it. And was that Ion action written in the way you wanted to? Did it sort of guardrail your process the way you intended? Or was there an error there? You can also dive into these executions on a specific Ion action. So from the Ion actions view you're all familiar with, see the execution specific to that action. And as Karan said, like how do I get insight into the success of this or the effectivity of my action? You can see here from these actions, 70% of the time this validation was being raised. That's probably a red flag at this point. And so surfacing that to the user, we're super excited to do and really empower the administrators and again, as well as the technicians to have visibility into these critical factory critical operations. In a similar note, we're also going to jump into procedures here. So go ahead and check out procedures in your new Ion experience. But what do we get in procedures that we didn't in the past? You get a comprehensive overview of that procedure. You see the interconnected issues, the success rates of prior versions of that procedure. And then within the procedures content itself, you get the ability to preview those photos in line. Just having quick access for your technicians to reference what they're about to do next. You'll see here that the procedure screen is taking use of the Ion's installation requirements, which allow you to dictate what parts need to be installed on what step. So you can maintain complete traceability and know when in a process your ABOM was affected. You're also able to quickly dive into part information related to the part that you were building on that procedure. And more importantly, you can view all of this type of critical information from a dependency view that really allows you to manage and build out your procedure more so from the dependencies view than ever before. Right, that is super critical to maintain correct process flow and minimize process deviations. So we're really excited about the improved dependencies view as well as the improved review panel. So we've brought in And just to quickly go back to it, we've brought in a standardized review page to all of the new Ion experience. Whether you're reviewing issues, procedures, purchase orders, you're going to experience the same review process and look for consistency throughout the application. This is also leveraging role-based procedure approvals, which most of our other models have at this point as well. So again, you're just getting a consistent experience to really accelerate the review workflow. We're surfacing when have you addressed all the feedback? When should you move something into review? Those sorts of suggestions really just help move the procedure through the process and to release. So these little things here and there, as well as the big things such as a overhauled dependency viewer, are going to make a massive difference to the time it takes to iterate on your processes and drive that time down.
Okay. Great. So we just went over a lot. I mean, we've shipped some really great functionality. I really appreciated Doug you going over the clarity on standard steps during run execution, some huge performance wins, and of course, the reason that we're doing these webinar roadmap reviews more regularly now is to show that our user group as well as the entire market what is changing because things do change, and I'm really excited to be supporting the industry for its CMMC readiness, as well as bringing up, things that we know need to move the needle in manufacturing. Change is the only constant. So thank you all for joining us. We have a few questions coming in. Let's take a look. So um, first one here. Thank you for this question. Is the workflow builder based on prismatic like ion actions or ion automations? And the answer to that is yes. It is a different part of the engine that we use from that underlying provider. The nice benefit here is that we get to abstract it more and pull it more into the user experience. Yep. So for all intents and purposes, if you are a user of the prismatic automations, that's actually rolling forward into a much more seamless user experience. So really excited to get that out to folks. Let's see, what else do we have? I'll be able to update. Oh, okay. I think we might have to follow up on this one. This is a question about run step build requirements. I think we'll probably do you have an insight on that one?
I can speak slightly to this, and you'll see it on the roadmap slide. So when we send this out, definitely go back there and check out that slide. But Ion Change is an initiative that we're pushing across multiple different areas of the application. And what do I mean by that? I mean, how do you understand the impact of changing something, specifically when you're interacting with something like a live run or an A-bomb or something of that critical nature, right? We want to understand the change that we're affecting and the broader effects that has. So Ion Change on the roadmap is the item that's in capturing those run step build requirement changes. And that is, as we talked about, run execution and A-bombs, that's a critical part to release sort of in line with all of those, with that feature, right? So run execution wouldn't be complete with A-bombs. It also wouldn't be complete with being able to edit your build requirements. So you can track that item on the roadmap for updates. But that is what editing those build requirements is sort of looped into.
Actually, that's really great. And as we go through Q&A, Doug, if you don't mind just flipping back to the roadmap, just so the audience can take a look at the roadmap as we're going through. But yeah, just want to double click on exactly what Doug mentioned, Ion Change, which is there in the later. We are beginning, we've already cleared initial specification. We'll be getting into design and development in Q1. But like Doug mentioned, we realize that across Ion, there is a lot of change. This goes back to what I was saying about change is the only constant. And rather than having piecemeal ways of changing things like run step build requirements or, multiple loops of issues, it just depends. We're working out the exact requirements. One unified change object
That's right.
will allow you to get the approvals collected and insert those changes, right? So keep an eye out for that, but run step build requirements will be a part of that. Question here. I think we covered this one. For the execution log, can we see the actions that were fired? We sometimes iterate on rules, and it would be nice to be able to check when each one works as expected or not. And I think
that's a yes. Yeah, the answer is yes. And I'll add to that go check out documentation as well as we send this out and broadcast this more broadly. We'll also include links to all the documentation that explains that behavior. And that's a great place in general just to go and see what's new in the new Ion experience. All of that documentation is being built out there. So yeah, look forward to that.
Yeah. Here's another one. Actually, this one is exciting. Are there any plans for disassembly procedures? So it's good to see this one because it's been a while since I've kind of thought about this or fielded it. Though we've had discussions at First Resonance about RPD, rapid planned disassembly. If anybody gets that joke, it's the other side of a rapid unplanned disassembly, which sometimes happens in manufacturing. So. This is a good question to kind of stoke that to rekindle that exploration that we made a few weeks ago. So we'll follow up on that.
Yeah.
Um, okay. When can we expect the run environment to be released in the new Ion experience? So that one is going to be near end of Q1. For us at First Resonance, it's going to be about March, April, actually. It could go sooner, and for key customers, we're going to definitely be working hand in hand to get out as soon as possible. Obviously, noting here that getting that new functionality out into hands early is not necessarily going to be ready for go time in production. For that, we are looking at much more like March, April. Um, okay. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So this is the last one, and then we'll talk about some of the forward-looking items as we wrap up in the last few minutes. But I think it relates to the same question that we just addressed. I see a lot of new features, but when will new Ion be in parity with current Ion? We would like to start planning how we migrate over. So look, it's a good question. One thing I highly recommend is work closely with their manufacturing success manager. We have been handing out change rollout checklists to our customers and actually building those alongside them, really identifying beta groups and rollout plans and timelines. What we've realized here at First Resonance is that we can make changes to the application and make updates, but really what's more necessary than ever as our customers are rapidly scaling and managing fleets of technicians and quality engineers, so on and so forth, is the change as it's received into the organization.
Yeah.
So from a product standpoint, we're working very rapidly to close the gap. We have been running sessions for basically a diff analysis between old functionality and new functionality, making sure that if there is something that's left out, it is a conscious decision, and that we have a recipe for how you should work alongside it. And if it's not, that we rapidly close that diff between them. So. I know some of that was a little bit of a non-answer because the when it's something very direct. We are looking for that when to happen in the early part of next year. Again, probably around the springtime. And until then, we are rapidly progressing here with our inventory workflow, our procedures workflow, purchasing. All those are rounding out and closing. The more we do that, actually, the faster we get at the rest of the workflows, including runs. So we have a lot of reusable components ready to go. So next year is going to be off to a big start. Yeah. So thank you for all those questions. I think great Q&A. Really appreciate the engagement. I wanted to close out by just pointing out a few kind of logistical things. So as Doug mentioned, we had a fantastic event with our customers at Topgolf yesterday. So if you are on the webinar and you joined us for that event, thank you so much for joining us. We had a blast, or so I heard. I was not able to make it. I'll come back to that. If you are in the El Segundo area, I'll remind everybody, actually, First Resonance decided to move its headquarters down here to El Segundo, California, where the magic is happening earlier this year in August. And we've really gotten comfortable and is now very much home. About once a month, we do this fantastic event called Factory Fuel. It happens on Thursday mornings. Keep an eye out on the socials on X and on LinkedIn for the next one. Should be in the third or fourth week of January. Could be sooner. Keep an eye out and come get fueled up. Do we have anything else, Doug? I think those are the main
Those are
logistic things. Yeah.
the two sort of recurring events that we
Yeah.
host here, and obviously any customers in the area, let us know when when we're rolling out things, when we're having meetings, defining what priorities are within your organization. We're more than happy to be on site, with you all to go through that and to understand more intimately sort of what does your factory floor actually look like operating on a day-to-day basis. I think that's been my favorite part of
Hmm.
moving down to El Segundo to the area is we're just a stone's throw away from a lot of people on this call. So, yep.
Yeah, wonderful. Thank you for that reminder. Please do take advantage. And and we'd love to come out. If you're having events, we'd love to get to know you better. And I think with that, that's a wrap. Thank you so much for joining us for our final roadmap webinar of the year. We really wish you and your families and your teams happy holidays over the next few weeks. We definitely have a lot of momentum going into 2026, and we're looking forward to it.
Thanks everyone for joining.